private clouds. So we all know what is VPC. Like we want to have a isolated network, and for more network, for more security purpose, you can go with VPCs. And then let's go with VPCs, because we all know what exactly the purpose. We know exactly how the things works in VPCs. So go with all services. Networking service here, and then you have virtual private networks. Okay, let's create virtual networks. So it's like saying you understand it, right? So like this is a VPC. Okay, well, now so let's say a VPC, I mean VPN, VPC, whatever. Let's go with add. So I'm creating VPN. Click on add. So now first select your subscription type and resource group. So let's get same resource group, resource group. And then so give some name to the VPC. So let's say VPC1, and then the region, just select some region there, and next IP addresses. So this is a CIDR block. We know the concept of CIDR blocks, right? So go with the CIDR block, and the CIDR block is 10.0.0.0/2. Okay, this is CIDR block, and then going with so it cannot overlap with the subnets. Okay, we all know that. Okay, so address space overlaps with the address spaces of private. Okay, so we have another VPN, and this IP address overlaps with that other one. Okay, that's okay. We'll change this. It's not within the CIDR block 24 instead. Yeah, it's okay. Let the overlap it. We'll do one thing. We go with 1.0 then. Okay, let's go with 1.0. Okay. So if I go with 0.0, that is overlapping with my another network. So I'm taking another so CIDR block there. Okay, fine. And the next thing is subnet name. Can create a subnet, or we can add in a subnet here. Of course, I'm creating a subnet. Okay, so we know that the subnet must be within the range of VPC, right? We know that concept. Then the subnet name, so VPC1 subnet. So VPC1 subnet, and then CIDR block. The CIDR block must be within the range of VPC CIDR block 10.0.1.0 okay, /24. So that's good. That's within the range, right? So even here also for Azure reserved addresses, okay, just like even in AWS you have reserved addresses. So you can create only 21 with type C. We are going with type C CIDR block, right? Okay, and then just add it. So VPC1 subnet. Now select the subnet. That's our subnet. Okay, and then go with next. And we don't need these default ones, right? We don't need default ones. Remove that subnet. Remove that. So I want only this one. I don't know that. I don't want the default ones. Okay. So that's all. Anyway, that is within the subnet, within the VPC. And next is NACL, Network Access Control List. Okay. So you want to create a Bastion instance for us, you can create a Bastion host, right? So you want to create a Bastion instance, so you can create a Bastion name. So this Bastion instance so will help us to log in from outside, but this is in public IP, so I don't need any kind of Bastion instances, public subnet I mean. But if you are going with a private subnet, you need Bastion instances. So you want to create a Bastion instance as well, you can create a Bastion instance. So this is another kind of advanced feature which we don't find it in AWS. While you create a VPC, you cannot create a Bastion instance. You need to create a different instance and then you create a Bastion over there. So, but here you can do that. Okay, that's an advantage, and you can go with some Bastion. Okay, that is possible, but I don't want that Bastion. So this is like protection plan. This is a protection. What do you call? Uh, it gives kind of more protection from outside attacks. So if you have any kind of outside ones, and in that cases you want to get some notifications triggered, then so this is a protection plan, DDoS. Okay, then but that is paid actually. It's not a free service, it's a paid service. You can see there. So it's a paid service. So you want to create some protection there, you can create some protection plan over there. Okay, something available, but that is okay. And then you have so firewall, and you want to provide some more security. So to the instances, so I mean your VPC suppose, and then you can go with that. So go with next anyway, and just a tag name. Just go with that and review created. Violation pass. Let's create that VPC VPN. Go to the VPC. Okay. So here we have so VPC created, and then so the where are they? It's subnets. Here we have the subnets. Okay. So VPC1 subnet, and that's a VPC1 subnet. Okay. And then you can add more subnets to it. So when you want to add more subnets, you can add subnets. Let's say VPC1 and then new subnet. And then again the CIDR block. So that is important. Go with the CIDR block. And then so there you see that you want to attach a NAT gateway. Okay. So if you want to attach a NAT gateway, you must create a NAT gateway. So then that will be your private subnet. Yeah. So otherwise this will be your public subnet. When you attach NAT gateway, that will be a private. Yeah. We'll create that later anyway. So network security group, you have any kind of security groups already created, you can attach security groups, then save it. You don't have any route tables as well, we create a route table, we'll do it. Right. So that is your okay. Let's go with these VPs, the subnets. Go with these subnets. Okay. So these are the subnets again, the same thing, same settings. Okay. Right. Then so go with securities. Check the securities. What kind of securities are assigned? Securities in the sense It's like algorithm security center. Oh, this is an like it's expected. Yeah. Yeah, this is like a paid kind of service again. Okay. So which is that more security can provide more security, and this is an pay as you go. Yeah, this is not a free one. This is a pay as you go. You can provide securities to the instances, and you can provide securities to the databases. Like you can do these things. Well, anyway, that's a paid one. So we need to update our account. Then, yeah, that's pretty much anyway. It's nothing too much. Then, if you want to add a, kind of instance into the VPC I've created, then go to compute. Then, whenever you want to create a virtual machine, right, you just add an instance. So select the resource group, select the appropriate resource group. Otherwise, so the VPC won't be appeared. Okay, and then you have just give a name, instance 1 in VPC 1. Okay, then the region, availability options, the availability options, and issues. Okay, just go with the default settings. Okay, so go with the default settings, and here these are inbound ports. Okay, and then next. Okay, go with the next also, and there is your network. And then virtual network I've created. This is a virtual network I've created, and in that there I have two subnets, right? I can say this two subnets. So which subnet you like to create? So there is my subnet. Okay, and then okay, so network security is basic one. Inbound rules, inbound ports. Just allow all the ports. So inbound rules. Okay, we talk about the balancing later. Okay, but before we do that, so let's create instance, but I go back to the basic settings, and in the settings, and then so go with this. So the public key pair, instead of key pair, 1 second, scroll up. Okay, so you see, and then select these ones. We forgot to do these kind of availability options there. With Ubuntu, that will be my image, and then the size of the instance. I think that the basic one I've selected according to the cost. Where is the cost? It's loading. I think it's already selected. Okay. Okay. Selected. But can I select this and just let's see, because will it allow us change the basic options, may reset selections you have made, review all the creation virtual machines. Yeah. Okay. Some regions they don't allow this minimum configurations. Okay. Some regions they don't allow it, but we'll see. That's okay. And then inbound ports, 22 is a port. Okay. Go with the password, okay? And go with this password. Public key would be, do you have any public keys? Did we create any public keys? Okay, we have one. Okay, we can use that. Next, networking. We all done with that network. Then just monitoring, enable this monitoring. You want to enable the monitoring. So finally, I just go back to review and then create. Okay, so let's create instance. Just creating a resource. See that it's public IP. It's creating a public IP. First, it was creating a network. That's a network. So that turn was done successfully. Okay, and then so go to the resource. And then so check this IP address. There is a IP address, right? Then you have the IP address, and you want to assign a kind of a static IP address, elastic IP address. Simple. Just click on the elastic. Click on the IP, public IP. Okay. You want to make it an static IP address? You can make it an static IP address. Okay. I think we know this. What is static IP? Right. So after the instance is restarted, I want to get the same IP address again. So you can go with click on the IP, and from it is dynamic by default. So and then change the static IP. Okay. So anyway, just discard it. If you see, and then where is the instance? Go to resource and check the VPC first. Networking. So there is our VPC. Okay. So that's our VPC 1. VPC. Okay. So VPC, and then now you can check these inbound outbound roles, port numbers, inbound outbound roles. Okay. And that's a IP range. So is it under same within that IP range? Yeah, that's under the IP range. Okay. Well, so then securities, check the securities. Okay, this is like a paid thing, right? It's a paid thing. That's okay. You want to set up some security alarms, so it's all like paid versions. It's not available under free tier versions. Okay. Yeah, so then you want to go with set up this kind of, all this. These are instance properties. You want to make this instance as best instance. Okay, so you can create an instance here. Okay. So, but you need to create a subnet. Okay. How you want to make this instance as a best instance? You can make this instance as a best instance. Okay. So you can do it after the instance is creating, or else like we have seen the previous way also. So that from that point on, from that option also, you can make this instance as basket instance. Okay, but anyway, so go back here, go back to the home page, and then I'm going to create another VPC. Before we create a VPC, so let's do one thing. I'm going to create an NAT gateway. Okay, let's create a NAT gateway under networking. So you have an NAT gateway should be here. So there is your NAT gateways. I'm creating a NAT gateway, then we can attach this NAT gateway to the subnet, and that subnet will be considered as a private subnet. So create a NAT gateway. Okay. So resource group, NAT gateway name, NAT gateway 1, and the region, availability zones, select some zone here, zone 1, ideal timeout, that's a timeout. Okay, so we know what is timeouts, and the next is outbound rules. Now, so why we have outbound rules? Why don't we have inbound rules then? See, NAT gateway, the concept is it allows the traffic only one way. That means from inside to outside. But outside is outside, we won't allow the traffic. Now you can put some restrictions here. Okay. So you have any public IPs? Go with. Okay. We are associating with some VPCs now. Okay, create a VPC, select a VPC, but we need a different VPC, right? So we create a VPC, then, or shall we go with existing one? We'll try this, okay? C1 IP. We use the same VPC1 public IP that is already associated with the network, right? Yeah, it's already associated. This is also associated. Okay, they're associated. We can't select them. We'll create one. It's okay. Create a new public IP. Or else NAT. So not NAT public IP. Okay. And then just I want to go with the static one. Okay. SKU is nothing but it's an what we call a unique kind of ID, you can say. It's an ID. SKU is nothing but it's an ID. Okay. And then so any public IP preferences. Okay, there are no preferences. Next. Okay. Well, we do one thing. We create a VPC, we create a subnet, then we can attach that NAT gateway to the subnet. So we do that first. So because usually when you, okay, fine, we'll just create that one first. because it's asking, since you're creating a NAT gateway, the NAT gateway must attach with the VPC and also with the subnet, right? So now it's asking us to create a different, or you can create one here itself, right? You can create one from here itself. We use that option rather than going home page. We create one from here itself. Okay, so creating a virtual network here itself. Let's say VPC2. That's a VPC2, and the address range. You can go with some address range. Select that address, okay, and then subnet. So just remove these ones. Okay, and here also I don't use that. Okay. You can use that one. That's not a problem. And subnet. Let's say VPC2 subnet. Okay, right, and then address range. Address range has to be within that range. Type it dot 2 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. Go with 24. I can go with 24, right? Yes. So because that is the VPC is 16 class B, and then my subnet is class C. So that's, we can go with that. No issues. Then create a one. So the VPC, and then this is a subnet. Okay. Okay. Well, I've selected my VPC2. It's all selected. It's a new VPC, and then you can create. That's a subnet. It's selected already. So you see that this is so beautiful, right? So these kind of advanced features you don't come across in AWS. It's all like, so for example, I want to create a VPC. Okay. While creating NAT gateway, that's not possible. You stop the page over there itself, close the page or else, or you open another window, then you create the VPC and submit. But here, so this is create the VPCs, NAT gateways, submits while you create that. That's a good thing anyway. Go with next. So validation pass. Great. So still in progress. So, okay. So all good. Now go with that. NAT gateway. So that's our NAT gateway. Right. So I think you remember the purpose, right? So the purpose of NAT gateways. Right. So now, so NAT gateways are attached to the private subnets. Hope you remember that. Right. Now that makes your subnet as a private subnet. If you don't attach any kind of NAT gateways, that's in public. That's in public subnet. Okay. Well, so we created an VPC with public subnet. Now I created a VPC with private subnet. Okay. Then I want to create a VPC with both subnets, public and private subnets. Okay, that's our another scenario. So create a new. But I think I need an, but we'll see. Let's go with VPC3. It's a VPC3. Okay. So region, next, decider block. It's IPC range, yeah, VPC range, decider block. Okay, and then so create a subnet. Okay, create a subnet from here. Let's say subnet 1, and then decider for that. In dot, so 3 dot 0 dot, or you can say 1.0 slash 24. Okay, and this is one subnet. Okay, and then you can just fill them, and then I don't want the default one, just remove the default. Okay, so and what else I do, I create another subnet. Okay, or else let's rename them. 1 second, I just remove that. So I just remove that, create another subnet. Instead of giving subnet 1, let's say I would say public subnet here. Say that public subnet. Let's say 3 dot, right? So what's the decider block? 3.0 slash 0, not 0, let's say 1.0 slash 24. Okay, so create one, and I'm creating another subnet, which is a private subnet. Ten dot 3 dot 0 1 dot, let's say 2 dot 2.0 slash 24. Okay, and right. So two subnets we are creating, public and private subnet. Next, so security, and you want to enable the bastion concept, you can enable the bastion. Since I'm creating a private subnet, so I want to go with some bastion. Okay, bastion 1, and Azure Bastion subnet space. Okay, let's probably this 10 dot 3 dot 2.0 24. That's up 2.0 already have taken, right? Okay. Let's say 3 dot. Okay, so and then can we associate with bastion host? Or else I make this instance as my bastion, but that's not the all right. So IP address does not match over here, or else we don't have those instances for with IP range, right? That's a problem now, because we have mentioned the IP range there. Already associated with the network. Okay, it's already associated. Yeah, that's what. Go to new NAT public. This is also already taken. Create a new one. Better. Let's create a new one. Add a public IP name. Let's say bastion IP. Okay. Create one. Okay, we do that. We take that one. That's better, because all those ones already assigned. Next, and next, just validation setting. So create that. So now we are creating 3. public subnet, private subnet, and also Bastion subnet. So it is in three within same VPC. Okay. Well, step one. So VPC private subnets and then public subnet, Bastion. So they're all creating on same single VPC. Then we make that private subnet as private once after what we call NAT whenever we create the NAT gateways.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, what is the difference between NAT gateway and Bastion host?
Bastion. So you forgot Bastion?
No, sir, I know, sir, but it similar service, sir, like that. It is in public subnet inside the public subnet to connect the private subnet to internet gateway internet. Like the internet purpose, they
No.
are using Bastion host like the private subnet internet purpose. I hope the
Yes. So if you want to log into the private subnet from outside, so you need Bastion.
yes, sir. NAT gateway similar works, sir.
NAT gateway. See, NAT gateway. Don't compare that. NAT gateway is a gateway which makes your instance as in private.
Okay,
Bastion is an we call it Bastion host. I mean Bastion instance.
okay,
So if,
okay,
see, once you create your what we call private subnets, okay, and you want to
okay,
make your submit as a private, we attach NAT gateway. Then that subnet will be a NAT gateway.
okay, sir.
Okay. Then instances within the NAT within the private set, and then you want to connect it. Then we need Bastion.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So NAT
Okay,
gateway makes your submit as a private. That's the first thing. Then you
okay,
want
sir.
to connect to the instances in the private subnet, and you want to do SSH. Then we need Bastion. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So this is something different in Azure, something different. AWS. So you need to create a different VPC for that, and then you can create a VPC peering connection. But here, so you can create same Bastion within the VPC. So that's something different. And that Bastion instance will allow you to log into private.
Okay,
Something
sir.
different.
Okay, sir.
things look similar to AWS, but some things are different. So especially these, you see, in AWS we have internet gateways, right? Here you don't see the concept called internet gateways.
Okay,
By
sir.
default, they consider your public networks subnet as a public subnet by default. But if you want to, whenever you attach that NAT gateway, that subnet will be the private subnet.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, it's the default public.
Okay,
But
sir.
whereas in AWS we have internet gateway concept also. But here you
Yes.
don't have internet gateway concept.
Okay.
Something different.
Okay, sir.
It's still being deployed because so we have getting different instances in here. So it might take some more time. Still it's being deployed. Right. Yeah. So now the deployment is complete. We are in the resource. We are in the VPC3, and we have different subnets in it. Right. So here we have public subnet, and we also have a private subnet. This is a bastion subnet. You can instances according to your requirement. Then so I want to make my private subnet. I want to make a private this subnet as my private subnet. So once you attach and NAT gateway is, that will be your private subnet, right? Now there it is, NAT gateway. I want to attach a NAT gateway. So we already have a NAT gateway create. Now save it. So failed because cannot configure multiple virtual network. Okay. So that NAT gateway we already have attached to a different VPC already we have done it. So I can take and so different NAT gateway, attach that to this subnet. Okay, we'll do that. Now going back to I'm creating another new NAT gateway so that I can attach that to this private subnet in the VPC3. Create a new NAT gateway. Okay, so go with an NAT gateway, add it. So just resource group, and then NAT gateway name, give it NAT. So gateway 2. Okay. And then the region and availability zone, everything is same. Next is outbound roles. So select the public IP address. Okay. Just leave. Okay. You can go with that. Next, submit. Select this. Now, which one that is? VPC3, and then going with. Now there it is. This is our private subnet. This will be our private subnet now. And then next. So it's run validation. So now create it. So still it's being deployed. Go to resource group. Okay. So, and then that's a resource group anyway. But now VPC3, and just refresh this. Refresh. That's a private subnet. There is a NAT gateway 2 attached. Okay. Well, then, so even you have options called manage users. You can add users also here. Okay. I mean, these are the roles. So roles and then users. So we can add some users here. Hope you remember those users yesterday I've created. So search for those users, and then also you can assign the roles. Okay. But so anyway, that's not what I'm looking for. So we go with so you can have IAM. You see that? Go to IAM, add users here, add per user. I don't remember what was the user we have created yesterday. Whatever the user that is created, you can go with user. Right? You see our users one, add that user here, and he'll be able to control. You can give some permissions for the user. Okay. But anyway, so now we're going to create instances in this VPC, and you can make that instance either a public either a bastion or else you also have private. Okay. So virtual main. So create a new virtual machine. Okay. So resource group. So virtual machine name, let's say VPC3 private subnet. Okay. And then so region and all these ones, just select something, whatever, and then the size. So go with all the settings. And then next is, so go network straight away, network, and then the network, VPC3 is the network. Okay. And then now we can decide that, so what kind of instance we are creating in subnet, so which is a public subnet, right? Or you can go with a private subnet here, right? And then, yeah, as usual, let's go with next. And you can just go with review and then validation passed, and we'll be getting an instance in that private subnet. Okay, it's did they go return to validation? So I think I've selected generate a new key pair, right? Well, I don't want the new key pair. I go with existing key pair. Generate a key pair. Instead of generating, use existing key. You have any keys? That's my key. Review and the date. So it's in progress. Well, so why see that now? So why the deployment was a failed? So what was the reason? The deployment, okay, creation, so it was a failure. What was the reason it's a failure? I want to know the reason. Bad request. What do you mean by bad request? Is it, that's not our problem, bad request in a sense. Try to redeploy that. Try that again. Okay. Where it was going wrong, thing was all good, I think so. All good, no issues. Violation file required information was missing. See what was information missing? The source group. Okay. But I already have selected anyway. Yeah. the value must not be empty. Admin key. Why that admin key is? I'm not going with a new key, right? I'm going with existing key. I'm not going with this. Public key. Let me do one thing. Probably I would use some existing keys I have. When those keys don't work, I think that is where the issue is. Where are the keys? Let's use the key. PEM5. I use that PEM5. That might work for me. Probably we'll use that key. Let's see. But it does not work. Anyway, it's a private key. Okay, this is my, yeah, I said this key does not work anyway. So I think we just need to go back to redeploy the whole thing again, because I'm not sure whether what step did I selected. I can go with edit template. We need to do everything. Well, I discard that if I don't report that. Okay, so you try that from your side. Okay, you try to create that, since this is because of what we call. So I think I've not selected the correct IP ranges or something, but you try that. Okay, just create that. So everything goes perfect. Only the public IP something went wrong. That's only one thing. Okay. Well, so but just do create them. These different types of public and private subnets from your side. Create them, and then the next week we go with a load balancer concepts in the next week, and remaining concepts whatever we have. I'm going to cover those remaining topics in the next week. Okay. So, any questions?